Are you asking the right questions in your interviews? If not, you might be missing out on a big opportunity to stand out. So today I'm going to give you 5 of my all-time favorite questions to ask in a job interview and why you should ask them. You see, they're not a one-way street. And by asking good questions, you'll show them that you're highly interested in the role and, what they do as a company. Conversely, if you don't ask questions, you're showing them that you're not very interested in the job. But if you want to see if this company aligns with your own personal values and career goals, then consider asking questions about their company culture or, how they measure success. And these questions will reflect your serious intent and show them that you have a professional mindset. But more than anything, ask questions that will help you make an informed decision about whether you want to work there or not, because those are the best questions you can ask. So let's take a look at 5 questions that you can ask on your next job interview. How would you describe the leadership style in this company? Now, here's why you want to ask this. This question provides insights into the company's management philosophy and whether it aligns with your own work style. And it can tell you how they make decisions, how employees are managed, and what the expectations are in the role. Now, here's what the employer is thinking when you're asking this question. It's going to show them that you're thinking about how you're going to fit in with the team. And it's going to show them that you have a desire for open communication. It's also going to demonstrate that you value leadership and that you want to be in an environment where you can thrive. Next question is, what are the next steps in the interview process? Now, you probably want to ask this near the end of the interview. Here's why you want to ask it, because it's going to show that you're interested in moving forward and that you're serious about the opportunity. It's also going to help you understand the company's hiring timeline and, what you can expect next. Now, here's what the employer is thinking when you're asking this question. They're going to see you as someone who's engaged and interested in the position. It's also going to show them that you are eager to proceed to the next steps. It's going to show them that you want the job. Now, another good question to ask is, what does success look like in the first 90 days for this role? Now, here's why you want to ask it. This is going to help clarify the expectations for the role and give you a clearer picture of what you would need to accomplish to initially be successful in the role. Now, here's what the employer is thinking when you ask this question. It's going to show them that you are a results-oriented kind of person and that you are looking to contribute from day one, from the get-go. It's also going to suggest that you want to understand what the expectations are so that you can meet or even exceed them. Now, here's another good question I'd love to ask, because it shows that you're thinking ahead and you're essentially presupposing that you get the job. Can you tell me more about the team that I'll be working with and how you think I'll fit in? Now, here's why you want to ask it. You see, understanding the team structure and dynamics is crucial, as it can really affect your overall work experience. This will also help you, gauge how you're going to fit in with the existing team. Now, here's what the employer is thinking when you ask this question. They're going to be thinking that you value collaboration, that you're looking to fit in seamlessly. And it's also going to show them that you're not just thinking about the role, but the broader context in which that you're going to be working in. And you see, for them to answer this question, they have to visualize you in the role and working with them. And once they start visualizing you in the role, they start imagining how you're going to fit in. And if they can imagine how you're going to fit in, that really ups the chances for you getting the job. So here's another good question you might want to ask, but you need to be interviewing for the right kind of job for this one. I mean, you can't be interviewing for the janitor's role. It needs to be some kind of position where you're in a position of influence or you're managing people. But the question is, what's the company's approach to innovation? Here's why you want to ask it. This question can help you determine if the company values creative thinking and innovation and whether, they would welcome and implement your awesome ideas. Now, here's what the employer is thinking when you ask this question. You see, employers love candidates who are forward-thinking people and value innovation. And this question is going to show them that you're interested in contributing to the company's evolution while staying ahead in the market. And that's what they want to hear. Now, the last question is, how does the company support work-life balance? Now, some companies probably don't at all. They might say, well, we don't. But don't work for one of those. But anyways, here's why you want to ask it. This question is going to provide you with insights into the company's culture and how they value their employees' well-being and their life outside work. Now, here's what the employer is thinking when you ask this question. It's going to show them that you value personal time and your own mental well-being, and it's going to send a signal to them that you are more likely to be productive and happier if you can balance work with other aspects of your life. And there you have it, my friend. 5 great questions to consider asking on your next interview. But I'll say this again. Only ask questions that are going to help you decide if you want to work there or not. Never ask questions you found on the internet or YouTube like this unless they actually make sense for you to ask. So here's what I want you to do next. Prepare a list of at least 10 questions that you want to ask before your next interview. But also stay alert during the interview process, because during that process, that might spark other questions for you. And as those new questions enter your mind, write them down in your notes, and then ask them when the opportunity presents itself. That might be on the spot, that might be at the end of the interview, whatever. But write them down and then get them answered. Now remember, the goal is to engage in a meaningful dialogue. So you want to ask questions that invite discussion. Avoid the ones that can be answered with a simple yes or no, because as soon as they answer yes or no, the question is shut down. There's nowhere to go from there. There's no further conversation. So not to say that you shouldn't ask any, but as a general rule, try to avoid the yes/no questions. And especially be aware of when your interviewer has indirectly answered one of your questions. For example, they might have told you that they're the biggest manufacturer of blue widgets in the world. And they might have said this, at the beginning of the interview. But if later in the interview you ask them, so who's the biggest manufacturer in your industry? They're going to be like, us. We told you that 20 minutes ago. And then you're going to feel stupid. And you're not stupid. So pay attention, listen, and ask good questions. And to help you with that, I want to give you this guide here. This has 14 additional questions in it that you might want to ask your interviewer. Now, the whole point of these questions is not for you to go in this book and just go down the list and ask all 14 questions. The point of these questions is to stimulate your own thought process, to help you come up with questions that, are right for you to ask. Hopefully you'll read through these and you'll be like, I don't want to ask that, I don't want to ask that, but that makes me think of this one, so I might ask that. Something like that. So use this as just kind of a springboard to creating your own questions. That's really what it's meant for. It also has the top 10 interview questions in it, which they're going to ask you, probably almost all of them. Tell me about yourself. Why do you want to work here? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What are your goals? Where do you want to be in 5 years? All that is in here, and you can download this, no cost to you, from jobinterviewtools.com/top10. Just put in your name, email address, tell me where to send it. I'll get it right out to you. Now, ideally, you want to prepare for your interview, within a day or two. If you're doing this, an hour before your interview, I'm sorry. But this is still definitely going to help you. If your interview's in an hour, get this, read through it really fast, take some notes, and then go into your interview. You'll do great. But ideally, try to give yourself a couple of days of time to prepare. And that, my friend, is all I have for you. I wish you the very best on your next interview. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Lets me understand that you find this content helpful. And if you want to get notified every time I release a new video, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.